And we are in the AFC East still. Scott Cole, Nick Mazesco, and it is that team from New York, the Jets. There's always next year. That's kind of where we're at. Got a good quarterback, but it's been 11 years. 11 straight years, Nick, they missed the playoffs.
Yeah, it's crazy to think back when you think about the last time they made the playoffs. You might say the good old days of Rex Ryan, which is not something I don't think anybody would have said at the time. But I think Jets fans right now are like, man, I miss Big Rex.
He made the division interesting, to say the least.
Can't
had
wait.
a few, yeah,
Shout out to Bart Scott.
yeah, can't wait. Yeah, all right. He hangs out with a guy I don't like, so I don't know.
Oops.
Whoop. Sorry about that. We'll break down the New York Jets coming up next. Full clarification, though, Bart Scott's a cool guy, and happy to know him. Let's jump into these Jets. It has not been good. In times that they were trying to get Trevor Lawrence, they couldn't even do that. They couldn't even lose correctly at the time. Got to watch when you're tanking nowadays, Nick. There's a lot of news running around about that. What do you see from these Jets? I mean, are they getting better?
Yeah, I mean, listen, Scott, this team's got a lot of young talent. And again, obviously with young talent, you're waiting for them to pan out. But if you look at this roster as a whole, I love what they've been able to do with the offensive line. I think Mekhi Becton, who they drafted last year out of Louisville, he's the tackle of the future. He does play on the right side. Elijah Vera Tucker, another young, talented tackle. They've got a veteran at center and Connor McGovern. This offensive line is built well. Their wide receiving core has a lot of sneaky good talent. They obviously acquired Corey Davis a year ago. They go out and they draft Garrett Wilson out of Ohio State, who I thought was the best wide receiver coming out. They also have some guys they're waiting to pair. Elijah Moore was good last year. Braxton Berrios had a couple really nice games last year. The answers for this offense, though, it goes by how Zach Wilson goes. And he might be a dog, but he's got to be a dog on the field, too. And it's just we're just waiting to see what he is. He's got some weapons around him now. He showed some life last year, Scott. I think at times the eye test, he passed it at times. He wasn't awful, but he was a rookie thrown into a bad team with not a great offensive line and a lot of unproven talent around him. The other problem with this team is I look at this defense and it's rough out there. They draft Sauce Gardner out of Cincinnati. I'm excited to see what he can do, but Sauce Gardner slots in as their number one cornerback, and that's never what you want to hear.
Not on a rookie perspective, no.
Not really. They still got C.J. Mosley out there. He's a nice piece. Quinnen Williams hasn't quite been what I think what everybody was hoping he was going to be, but he took a big step forward last year. This is just a piece. Feels like a team that if everybody develops as they're supposed to, I feel like in 2 or 3 years they could be really good, but it all starts with the quarterback position. It all starts with Zach Wilson, the BYU boy, loves Stacy's mom's friends. I mean, I love it. Like, let's see he's got a little dog in him.
And if you think about the division, I mean, it's not for the taking, but it's not the Patriots that aren't in your way anymore. Now it's the Bills, but
yeah.
I think they got a long way to go before they even start to think about anything that could happen there. I mean, their quarterback does not grade out well. Their running backs are just okay. Their line's just okay. They got a lot of young talent. I think that's the one thing that you set out there. But last year, 4-13 is what this team was. Where do you think they got to get better? Or where do you think they got better, and where do they need to get better to push that win total up to closer to 500?
You guys see more production out of the wide receiver room. Elijah Moore is a really nice piece. He got hurt end of the year, so didn't quite have the flashiest numbers to end the year, but early in the year, he was a dog. The answer is Corey Davis was not what they hoped they were going to get. I don't think he was the value they were hoping for. I think that's why they went out and drafted Garrett Wilson. I think that wide receiver room has to perform better, but the big thing is their defense has got to get stops. You can't have Zach Wilson out there every 4.5 minutes because your defense is giving touchdowns. This is not a team that's going to outscore you. This is a team that's going to work the ball. They're really hoping this Breece Hall, Michael Carter combo can be this 1-2 punch. Their defense has to find a way to get stops. And I just don't know. Sauce Gardner, DJ Reed.
But where's
Breece
the names?
Hall.
It's like I'm sitting here listening to you read some of these names off, and I'm not sure if you're telling me in like an arena team roster.
Exactly.
Or you're telling me some like AFL. Like, where's the NFL caliber, like all pro? They're just not. It's not there.
They've got two nice pieces on defense. CJ Mosley, I still think, is a premier middle
Yes.
linebacker, and Carl Lawson had a great year with the Bengals. Comes over, I think that's great. They had some weird priorities in the offseason. They go out, they give a bunch of money to CJ Uzama, who is a cool tight end.
Yeah.
Average. I mean, average. I don't know. This is a
I think
team that,
Conklin will probably
there's
be
a lot of
better. I
guys
don't
that
know.
is unproven out. They've got to make some steps forward. Their linebacking core is CJ Mosley, Quincy Williams, and Hamza Nasruddin.
I keep going back. There's nothing about this roster that really gets you excited.
They got Greg Zuerlein. They got Greg the Leg. That was cool 10 years ago.
Hey, Greg the Leg. Okay, I will take that. I'll take that.
I'll say this.
Special teams.
If there's one player I like on this team, it's Braxton Berrios. I loved what he showed last year as sort of that not as talented as Deebo Samuel, but that style like screen pass guy that can make something happen. He balled out for them at the end of the year, and I hope he gets some more opportunities. He's kind of buried on the depth chart. I never liked that Denzel Mims pick from a couple years ago. Remember they took him out of Baylor. He's just kind of plodding, like he's a big receiver that doesn't get separation. I listen. Jets, Jets. That's the best thing about you.
LOSS. Yeah. Let's jump to the win-loss game because there's no way around it here. There's nothing sexy about this team. They got some young pieces. We'll see how they develop. We'll see if they can make some names for themselves. But let's just jump right into it. September 11th, they start off with the Ravens.
Loss.
And it's at home, but it's an L.
Yeah, it's a loss.
They do face the AFC North, and they face them
all in the first 4 weeks. That's cool. Hey, Raj, did y'all forget to give New York your schedule? The Jets. Sorry, forgot. Hold on.
We're going to have to do a Twitter Spaces or something on like Deshaun. Now we know he's going to be out for 6 games.
Yep.
Bring people up to date what's going on in Miami for maybe
Ross and his egregious tampering.
I don't know what's going on down there. But hey, they got rid of Brian Flores. Way to go.
Way to go, guys. Really a banner day for the NFL. Let's just point that out. The NFL the last 2 days, killing it out there.
Crushing it. Next week, they go to Cleveland. It'll be Jacoby Brissett, but they still
don't care. I don't care.
Doesn't get any easier. You host the Cincinnati Bengals on September 25th.
Big L.
Yeah, when we go back to the schedule, we're going to find out what's the games that they can possibly win here in our floor ceiling. At Pittsburgh.
I'd love to put them down for a dub here because I don't think the Steelers are that good. But
if it was at home, maybe.
But it's at a Chrysler Stadium. I mean, come on, man.
Sure. You can't flip that over and spank it on the bottom. A.k.a. Heinz Field. You gotta be careful what you say out there nowadays, Nick. October 9th, they face the Dolphins, who are bad in the front office, but they're going to be really fast on the field.
That's the weird part. Is like this Stephen Ross story comes out about all this punishments, and I'm reading it, and I'm going, "Wow, this is a big deal." It doesn't affect them one little bit this year. Like
on field, no, zero,
not one bit.
And you alluded. I mean, I don't want to totally cash in on the Jets here, but you alluded to that secondary being young. That's going to be. There's going to be some tough matchups early. The Bengals.
It's
Dolphins.
Not in Baltimore. It's not against Baltimore. I think
you don't need those guys.
Lock up Rashad Bateman. I got that one.
That is the best team that you could probably face in the whole league, as far as having a young secondary. On the 16th of October, it's the Green Bay Packers up at Lambeau.
What's this? There's something under my desk. Is that a dog? Nope. Just another L.
Another loss.
Another loss.
All right, so they're 0 for the century so far. We got them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then, oh boy, this stretch of games right here. Oh my goodness! I don't care what team you are.
I'm sorry, Jets fans. I don't. There's no game here that I go, oh yeah. Like, I guess your biggest toss up early is probably Miami at home. I just don't see that secondary stopping Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle.
Maybe you get Baltimore on an opening day. Maybe you got some wrinkles.
Maybe Cleveland. I mean, Cleveland struggled with the Texans last year, and they had a Baker Mayfield. So, maybe Jacoby Brissett's awful and Nick Chubb gets hurt.
Depends
Like
on what
obviously, but
kind of brisket you get. Is it moist? Is it
it could be
lean?
overcooked. It could be
Yeah,
bad.
a little sauce on it. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see. But this is a tough, and I'm just gonna put all the games together
Yeah.
because the answer's the same. October 23rd, they face the Broncos.
Yeah.
At Denver.
Yep.
October 30th, the Patriots.
Yep.
Which anything could happen there, maybe.
Yep.
November 6th, they host the Buffalo Bills. So
Yep.
going into the bye, I think they're 0-9.
Yeah, I think their best chance to win is October 30th, home against New England. I'm not as big on Mac Jones and the Patriots as other people are. I think they're an okay team with a mediocre roster. The biggest
Can
difference
they
is
move the
Bill
ball
Belichick
against
owns
that?
New York.
Yeah, can they move the ball against the Patriots?
I will do this. I will pencil them in for a toss-up game October 30th. I think they got a shot to win that game. I'll be honest.
I like that.
I think by that time you've had Zach Wilson with a little bit of time to work with his new receivers. The offense is not awful. It's really not. It's just their defense is really not good. If there's a team that they can stop, it's the check down machine and Mac Jones. Not a ton of wide receiver talent out there. Jacoby Myers is cool, but there's just not a lot of receiver talent. I'll pencil that in as a toss-up. I'm not going to put them down for a win, but if they're going to win a game, their most winnable games before the bye week are at home against New England and home against Baltimore to open things up and home against Miami. Yeah. I don't think they win any of them, but if they went 1-2 in those games, I don't think it's out of their own possibility.
The only road game, we'll get to it, I think maybe the Seahawks. I think that's about it. So they have a bye week. Way to go, Jets.
Yep.
Way to get it done on the bye week.
Didn't lose that
Not
bye week.
lose on the bye week.
Nope.
Then you got to go, you just played them. You got to go back to Foxborough on November 20th to face the Pats.
Yeah. Hold on. Hey. It's a loss? Okay, cool.
Yeah. So Nick just got the
sorry,
call.
they called me. They let me
Got the call from the bullpen.
Yeah, got the call.
Yeah. It's not. For us, it's not going to be fun doing this team, the Jags, the Texans.
Yeah.
There's going to
Sorry,
be.
guys.
It's rough. This is a game I think they can win, though. November 27th, they host the Bears in New York. Let's call it New Jersey.
I am going to actually put this down as a dub for the New York Jets. I think it's a home game, which helps them. I also think it's back-to-back road games for the Jets, or for the Bears. They're coming off a road game at Atlanta, which I think they will probably win.
Which is kind of a bye.
Yeah. So it's basically a bye week. But I think this is a very winnable game. It's an offense that has struggled. And yeah, I think they've got a good shot. I'm gonna put them down for a dub in November. Happy Thanksgiving, New York! Happy Thanksgiving.
We don't know a lot about this Bears team. We talked about this Jets team right here. Zach Wilson's going to be the one that probably can make the biggest impact on whether they get wins or not. Yep. Same thing can be said for the Bears. Fields could have a crazy season.
100%. He doesn't have Matt Nagy holding him down anymore. So
yeah. So no more bubble screens.
Holding him down literally underwater, like just.
December 4th at Minnesota. I think they get clobbered.
That's a loss. That's a loss by 30 points. Justin Jefferson 4 touchdowns. I'll be taking him in daily fantasy.
Then they have to go to Orchard Park to face the Buffalo Bills the next week.
Yeah, that 41-3. I don't care what the weather is. That game is going to be bad.
Or who's playing. It could be fans get to be quarterback day. They still take the L.
L's all around.
And that's why, I would give them a chance against Detroit at home.
This is a really nice 4-game stretch to end the season. I'm just saying. Great. Now, what's funny is, here's how the media is going to go. They're going to go, the Jets are in line for the number 1 overall pick. Are they going to mess it up in these 4 games? The answer is, yes, they are, New York market, because I got some wins down here. Yeah. Detroit, at home, big win. I'm big on the Lions. I actually think the Lions are going to be decent, but this is a typical Lions letdown game. The Jets are going to want to win some games.
The question is what they are like after facing Minnesota and Buffalo back-to-back weeks on the road.
Probably ice. Again, it's cold in Buffalo. They probably use some snow to ice down their injuries. It's a home. It is a toss-up game for sure. Yeah. If you look at what the Lions have got coming into that game against the Jets, they also play Minnesota the week the game before. So they're not exactly coming in. They literally have Buffalo and Minnesota within 3 weeks of that game too. So both teams are gonna be coming in a little spicy. But yeah, I think they win that game. I like the Jets at home against the Lions.
By the way, we are going to the NFC North next week, so
Hell yeah.
it's going to be interesting because it's a coin. I think it's a coin toss right now between the Packers and the Vikings for who might take that division. Well, that's going to be a big discussion.
The win-loss game will determine everything.
The worst football game this season, Thursday night, Jets Jags, and I say that because it's okay if the Texans and Jags play at 1:00 on a Sunday. No one cares. You know what I mean?
There's 7 other games
But it's
to
a
watch.
Thursday night game, 3 days before Christmas. We get to see Jets Jags.
Yeah. Scott, I don't want to ruin my Christmas, so I'm probably not going to watch this game. It's going to be the first Christmas with my new
There's
baby.
probably some high school game on that's better football around that time.
Listen, my new baby is going to be a month old at that point. I don't want to expose her to
I like
what
that.
is the most detrimental thing to use the Jets and the Jags playing. I got the Jets winning, though. I think the Jets are markedly better than the Jaguars.
Yep.
I do. So, Jets. 3 wins, baby. Maybe
They get
4.
some time off. New Year's Day, they go out to Seattle. I know that's east-west, but they got 9 days to prepare for the Seahawks at a 4:00 start Eastern time. And I think the Seahawks are really bad.
I got the Jets winning this game, too. I got a little mini 3-game win streak for the Jets.
So we think they're around 4 wins right now. They get one somewhere in that first 11 weeks, and then they start picking up some ones here late.
Yeah. By the way, can we just point out DK Metcalf signed a 3-year, $73 million extension with the Seahawks, a team that is currently led by Drew Lock. Why? DK, you good?
Well,
I think the Jets can. I mean, again, listen.
all you got to do is ask out, right? Are these contracts even contracts anymore? You know.
Yeah, I listen. I don't think the Seahawks are good. I don't. I like their. Trust me. And I know that we've talked about how the Jets tough to stop the pass, and they've got DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett, who are very good wide receivers. They have a literal turnstile offensive line, and they have a Burger King worker at quarterback. Like, the Jets should win this game. They should.
I mean, Ravens should
And
trade some
say it right
defensive
now,
guys
this-
for some of those wideouts.
And we'll talk about it when we get to the NFC West. I think by this point, they are going to have a different head coach. Pete Carroll's getting canned. That dude is awful.
Wow.
That dude's awful.
Yeah, they would have been Super Bowl champs if they ran the football.
Weird. Marshawn Lynch just like,
Yo, bro. Final game of the year, flex game. It's either on the 7th or 8th of January. They have the Dolphins down in South Beach.
I've got the Jets winning this game too. 'cause
Really? I think
don't
this is a must-win game for the Dolphins.
I
think this
listen,
is a
200%
maybe
depend on
get
if the
into the
Dolphins are playing for
playoffs.
anything.
Yeah.
If the Dolphins aren't playing for anything, I have the Jets winning this game. They're going to be more motivated. They're going to be on a 3-game win streak. They're going to be feeling good about themselves. They're going to go win this game. If the Dolphins have any sort of playoff implications alive, the Dolphins win this game by 40. Because they're going to go out there and they're going to run Tyreek Hill ragged on them. But if there's nothing to play for, Tyreek's not going to play. Jalen Waddle's not going to play. Tua's probably going to play because nobody cares that much. And the Jets should have a good chance to win this game. I think we said the Dolphins were somewhere around 9 wins, which would put them in the playoff hunt. So I'll pencil this in tentatively in erasable pencil as a Miami Dolphins win because I think they will be in the playoff hunt. But if they're anywhere under 9 wins, there's no shot they're playing any players in this last game.
So 4 or 5 wins.
4.
Maybe. Yeah.
4. This is a brutal
What's
schedule.
the basement, what's the ceiling?
Basements 2. I don't think they go winless. I definitely think they beat the Jags, and I definitely think they either beat the Lions or the Seahawks. Those are the only games that I sit there and I go, yeah, they're going to get, like, Seahawks, Lions, Bears. They're going to get 1 win out of those for sure, and they're going to beat the Jags. I don't think there's much more. I really don't. The schedule does them no favors early. Miami, Green Bay, Denver, New England, Buffalo in a row is brutal. And by the way, right before that, you play the AFC North that have 2 to 3 potential playoff teams. Also Pittsburgh with Mitch Trubisky. This is a bad schedule for them. This is not indicative of how bad I think the Jets are. I think the Jets are better than a lot of the teams we're going to talk about, but their schedule does them no favors. Their floor is 2 wins. Their ceiling 6?
5 or 6? Yeah.
It's 5 or 6. I'll give them 6. Seattle, Jacksonville, Detroit. 1 Miami game is 4. Chicago is 5, and I will give them AFC North team. I'll give them Baltimore. Like if they could beat Baltimore week 1, or Pittsburgh. That's a 6-win ceiling. If they get to 6, Jets fans should be very happy, like thrilled.
Well, I wish the show was longer. Just like the New York Jets.
I don't.
There's not a lot of depth in the show. I think it is.
Much like their cornerback room, there's not a lot of depth in this one.
And that's the thing. That if you're most excited about a guy that was in a borderline Power 5 school that had a pretty decent season last year, and Sauce Gardner. And then I like to throw Jermaine Johnson from Florida State. I think he's going to be an animal in the league. Like I think he's going to be tough to handle, and I mean that.
That was a steal for them. Like that was a first round grade that they were able to snag. Like seriously, the Jets Jets or Giants had the best draft, but there's a little project work there. I don't know if Sauce Gardner's a day one blow him out of the water. I think he's a good player that's going to develop.
Remember, they play the Ravens day one, so they're good.
He's going to look great day one. He's going to be awesome. Good for you, Sauce. Sauce him up, baby.
We're headed to the AFC North next week. We're going to have to really start to pick up the pace. If you're just finding out, we are on Tuesdays and Thursdays. We've been doing a lot of pre-recorded shows because we've been traveling all around and getting ready for the football season. Wish we could say more about these Jets. I'm with you. I don't think they'll go winless, but it's going to be really, really tough for them to get to. I think even 4 wins. I think this is a 3-14.
Here's all I'm saying. Season. We could have a storyline week 1. Zach Wilson gets a little dinged up. Guess who comes into the game? Joe Flacco to take on the Baltimore Ravens. Revenge game.
Elite quarterback.
Elite
Joe
check
Flacco.
Down master.
I think they win more games with Joe Flacco. I think they win 5 games with Joe Flacco.
Let's just get Mike White back in there. We all loved watching Mike White. Shout out to the Hilltoppers. Who doesn't love Mike White?
We are back next week. It will be the Green Bay Packers that you'll see on Tuesday. Then we'll have the Minnesota Vikings on Thursday. And we'll work through the rest of the Lions and Bears. Oh, my. We're probably going to have to throw a third show in there.
Get ready for some Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday action, ladies and gentlemen.
As we're getting closer and closer, we're going to try to make it happen. Appreciate everybody out there supporting. You can also catch the audio podcast, which is our most listened to format, out on anywhere you listen to the podcast. And we are on LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube.
Shout out LinkedIn. We love you.
LinkedIn, we do love you. YouTube, and of course, you're watching on Twitch. Wherever you have internet, that's where we are. So we will catch you next week right here on the show.